Hey everyone, I'm Kristen, and welcome to Keep Reading with Kristen, where readers discover the next favorite author one conversation at a time. Today's guest is J. Fitzpatrick Mauldin, author of the newly released space opera LitRPG, Enter the Cosmic Spiral. Fitzpatrick, thank you so much for joining me.
So excited to be here. Seriously.
And happy Pub Day, which was yesterday.
Sure was. It's out in the world. It's out in the wild. Here
It's
we go.
exciting. It's exciting. All right, it is time for the five-word pitch. Let's just jump right in with the five-word pitch. Imagine you only have 5 words to convince someone to pick up Enter the Cosmic Spiral. What's your 5-word elevator pitch?
Oh man. I feel like I'm on a timer for this. 5 word pitch. This is very much bullet points. Uh, uh, oh my gosh, I'm making more than 5 words just even thinking about the 5 words.
That's the fun of
Uh,
it.
drunk, uh, drunk space, axolotl, uh, RPG, um, friends.
Love it. Why'd you choose those
That's
five
all.
words? Now you have to explain why you chose those 5 words.
Okay, well, so the main character is he is a chronically inebriated individual. I found that's the best way of saying that on the internet because there's other things they don't like you to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I said chronically, I said drunk, I said space. So it is a space opera. So the book, which space opera for anyone who doesn't know, is where you have spaceships and high stakes and adventure, and Star Wars is a space opera is probably the most classic one that people remember. And then axolotl, because there's an axolotl, then a cute little axolotl. I've even got little big ones. And so the pet character in it is an axolotl. Um, an axolotl RPG. This is a lit RPG. So it
Yeah.
is not just a space opera. It is a lit RPG, meaning it's got stats and everything that are a part of the world that has been created here, and they play a big role in this because I wanted to write a lit RPG and I hadn't done that yet. And friends, found family and friendship is a really big core value of mine, and I really have always enjoyed stories that have friendship and connections like that, and so that is definitely a major part of the story. Grab your squad and go protect the world kind of thing. I've always enjoyed that.
Squad is so important. All right,
Hmm.
question 2. Mitch Prince is described as a software engineer and spectacular self-saboteur. Totally is, which definitely isn't your typical fantasy or sci-fi hero. What made you want to build this story around someone who's often his own biggest obstacle?
Great question. And actually, I do have a good answer on this because I've thought about this a lot. Um, this is not directly related to this, but I'll say it anyway. Is I quit drinking a couple of years ago, not because like any like completely off the rails thing, but I just felt like it was time. I'm 44 and it's time to move on. And as I was kind of deconstructing that particular part of me, where I was letting some things go and just deciding to be a better, newer version of myself, I started thinking about some of the most tragic characters that I found interesting over time. And actually, weirdly enough, BoJack Horseman is a great show, and the main character, and if you've never seen it, he used to be in Hollywood. He's a horse. Okay, whatever. He used to be in Hollywood. He used to be on a '90s TV show, and he was this beautiful, perfect person on TV. And then outside of that, his life was a complete wreck. And just the whole idea throughout the series of him kind of coming from like a redemption standpoint of being this kind of trash human being that's really trying
Mm.
to get his stuff together, and then you figure out why he's getting his stuff together and why he was the way he was. I found that really compelling from a storytelling standpoint. So I read a book on writing called Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and it said you can write any sort of protagonist you want in a story as long as you give them a redeeming quality.
Yep.
And they save a cat from a burning building. All of a sudden they can be a terrible person, but they're not so bad. And so it's, I mean, you think Chronicles of Riddick, like Riddick is kind
Yep.
of kind of a trash. He's a killer, but then he does these like oddly redeeming things at different parts of the story.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to create somebody quite that, but that would be why I wanted to write a very complicated character.
I
In
love
that.
that. All right, question 3. Enter the Cosmic Spiral throws readers into a galaxy-spanning RPG competition. When you were designing the system in the world, what was the first idea that made you think, oh, okay, this is going to be really fun to write?
What? All of it, really. I'm going to be honest. The spoiler alert here, a little bit of a spoiler. So Mitch being a flawed character is part of the game mechanic. So I thought that it would be interesting if sometimes our worst traits can also sometimes be things that we need sometimes.
Yeah.
And so when I started exploring the game system around, I kind of actually started there. Then of course you add all your normal Dungeons and Dragons RPG things on top of it. But when I started diving deeper into that concept, and then I started diving into some other things like fleet combat that are not normally something that you see in a lit RPG story, and what can that
Right.
look like as we gamify that. Um, I got really excited and it was fun. And anyway, it
Yeah.
led to where we are here.
I love it. I love fleet combat.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's so much fun. Like space operas are now my jam. Like so this combines the best of that.
It is space chess is
It
like
really
the
is.
and
Yeah.
I played a game called EVE Online for forever. I was talking to somebody at LitRPG Con who also plays, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, we were probably on opposite sides of the fleet." It's this game where there's one server, everybody's on it, and there are these
Yeah.
huge fleet battles that'll sometimes have 1,000 people on each side fighting each other, and they're all on comms and screaming at each other and calling out orders and stuff like that. It's really neat, but it is space chess, and so I
Right.
was like, man, I want to give readers that kind of experience as part of this because that's a very hard game to get into. And but yet the experience of being part of that group and taking on people and all that, like it's a lot of fun. And I want to, I'm not stealing the combat. I want to
Right.
transpose the experience, translate the
Yeah.
experience.
That's a lot of fun. All right, question 4. Without giving away any spoilers, what's one thing about Enter the Cosmic Spiral that readers won't expect?
um, one thing they won't expect. One of the twists near the end of the first book. I'm trying not to give away any spoilers because I felt pretty clever in how I handled a particular situation,
Hmm.
and I don't think they're going to see it coming.
Love it. All right, question 5. If
Mhm.
someone finishes watching this interview and is looking for their next great read, what kind of reader do you think will absolutely love Enter the Cosmic Spiral?
Great question. You know, here's the challenge that I have here in the lit RPG space is that there's not as much sci-fi as there is many things that are like fantasy driven. So
Right?
if they like the energy of something like Dungeon Crawler Carl or Discount Dan, then I think that this story would work for them with the comedy, with the squad, with the people getting together. But if they are also a fan of things like outside of lit RPG, if they're a fan of things like the Expanse or some of the other hard science fiction stuff, or even just like you like big spaceship and big object kind of Star Wars things, I feel like this would be a story for you because it combines some of my favorite parts of hard sci-fi and many of the parts of what you could call space fantasy or just fantasy in general and kind of puts them together with a stat system.
Nice. All right, here's a bonus. I'm calling it Chapter 5. The
Okay.
bonus question that I've started asking every author has to do with jumping ahead to Chapter 5 to see what catches my attention. So,
Yes.
in Chapter 5, I found a scene, without giving away too much, where Mitch is realizing what the liquid is, which is called the substrate, and why he was seeing the things he was seeing. Can you tell us a little bit about that moment or what was going through your mind when you wrote it?
Um, it's actually kind of funny. I don't know if I ripped anything off on here, but there's something having to do with that scene that I might have had a fever dream about that is related to One Punch Man.
Uh,
There's kind of a creature in there, and I didn't mean to do it really, but then I started going. I was like, man, this is kind of the cephalopod, weird looking napkin monster thing.
yep,
Um, so so yeah, space baptism was going through my mind as well.
got it. That is
That's all I got to
totally
say.
what, as I was reading that, I was like, wow, I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, I don't know that I'd want to experience that. But he
Yeah.
comes out of it feeling pretty good, which he's going
Feeling
to.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if that's how it's going to be in the afterlife. You
Hard,
know?
hard to say. We just get pressed down into the quantum substrate, and then that's just
Yeah.
we're there for all eternity. It's just vibrations. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That'd be really cool. I have this obsession with hell anyway as a concept in writing because it's really interesting. But I'd take this substrate over that. All right, now it is time for the fun five. Quick five would you rather questions.
Okay.
Here we go. One, would you rather have unlimited XP or unlimited luck?
Oh, geez. I'll go with XP
Okay.
because it doesn't matter. You can do all the things. Luck is
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Would
You
you
can get the luck.
rather would you rather explore an unknown galaxy or master one legendary build?
Um, be a master.
Okay. Would you rather have the strongest weapon in the universe or the smartest teammates?
Smartest teammates.
Same. Would you rather have a giant axolotl companion or your own spaceship AI?
Oh, shoot, giant axolotl at this point. Let me tell you, I got a lot of feelings about AI.
I know it's a mixed bag with that, and I want the axolotl too. So when I can't say it.
Mhm.
All right, last one. Would you rather know every quest before it happens or discover each one as you go?
Life's a journey. I'll discover it as I go.
Totally agree with you, and it's the best one. All
Mhm.
right. Thank you so much for joining me today. If Enter the
Thank you.
Cosmic Spiral wasn't already on your radar, I hope it is now. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to me. Keep reading with Kristen, or at Chris, keep reading Kristen, and also J. Fitzpatrick Mauldin, because he's everywhere, where readers discover their next favorite author, one conversation at a time. Until next time, keep reading.